Let's fight! Welcome in the ring to each and every one of you. Welcome in the ring, folks. Let's fight, let's fight, let's fight. John Jones and Beatrice Selby, Chevron McDonough, and all the other wonderful, beautiful folks. Let's fight! Let's fight! Good to have each and every one of you, John Jones. Good to have you, folks. Good people, good people, good people. Chevron McDonald, Stacey and Soul, Andy Williams, Emily Durant, Roxanne Gary, Patricia, Grace Dandy, Joe Max, Erica Hooper. How you folks are doing? Good to have each and every one of you. Clear Access, Chomley, Richmond, good to have you here as well. Each and every one of you, Bernice, Bruce, and Claudia Simon, Ariel Abrams, and Ariel Abrams, Donna Sharona Lynch, Deborah Sharona Lynch. Good to have you here. Rennie Mackenzie Talbot. Rennie, how are you doing? Pace and power. Share the live, folks. Share the live, share the live. I got a guest stopping by, or two. A guest or two or three. Good to have you folks here. Nonetheless, you folks make the difference. Your presence, good people, makes the difference around these parts, and we're so happy. Each and every one of you here, Paul Board. Everett Small, good to see you as well. And all the other folks who are joining us, we are extremely, extremely privileged to have each and every one of you. How y'all doing? Petal and Ramilianda, Lily Paul, how are you folks doing out there this evening? It is such a privilege to be with you, fantastic, beautiful folks. Such a privilege. And we're happy to be here with you. Rennie Mackenzie Talbot said just tired. We're ready. It's 2 weeks, girl. It's 2 weeks. Lester Williams, good to have you. Rennie said just tired. We're ready. It's 2 weeks. 2 in the business. Tired. Fed up and tired. But we got to be out front. We got to be boots on the ground. In spite of. We know how it goes. Heaven and faith. It's like that young amateur boxer. He's saying fed up. Fed up with the system. But we got to keep going. We got to keep going. We talk a little bit about him too. Odessa Wardine and all the other folks. Good to have you folks here with us. Good to have each and every one of you here with us, good folks. Oh, they're telling us critics is not well tonight. They say he's down. You can touch on that too. What's happening there? Bob Annie, Glenford Gordon, Minty Grapes Zandy. Good to have you, Janella Arthur, Marcia Wiles. Good to have you, Cherry Jeffrey, Lily Paul, and all the other folks joining us. We're fired up, good people. We're ready to go. We trust that you guys are as well. We trust that you good people are fine. Brenda Braffett and Ann Singh and all the other guys joining us. Oh, welcome to the ring, folks. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome. You know, some of y'all showing up yourself. If you're joining us from the Apnu AFC page, share the damn live. Don't get besides yourself. Some of you joining us from Christopher Jones' page, share the live. Smash that emoji button. We put a whole ringside bell in your chest tonight. You're following us on Alliance for Change page. Wherever you're picking us up from this evening, share the damn live. Smash the emoji button. Those folks who are joining us on Twitter, guys, we're so happy. We're so fantastically happy that you wonderful, beautiful folks are here with us. Welcome to each and every one of you. We're grateful you guys are here with us. We're rather no other way. This is the way we like it. That's how we like them. Juliet Mickle and Sheila Hazel, Bob Annie, Chris Kippins, respected manners, Chris. Respected manners. Heaven Faith, I done shit. Y'all be like Heaven Faith in the shucks. Pick up the pace, Beverly Romaine, all the folks. Those guys joining us on Christopher Jones' page. Don't put Chris to shame. Don't make your hand fall. Share it down like. Smash that emotion. And follow those pages as well. Those pages where you're picking us up from. Follow those pages. But let's trust God. Y'all know that. You know, let's trust God. 45 days in office. Yes. You come wrong to that, too. Yeah, it's true. Very true. Debbie Hohenkirk, Wendy Caesar. Good to have you. Paul DeAngelo. And all the other folks. Yeah. Well, no, let's trust God. Good to have you, Glenn Ford and Ronald Worrell. Good to have you. I can do a little thing here. Julian Bars and Dory Clark. Gotta catch myself quick. Yep. Joe Max Hardy, You gotta take care of yourself, especially when you're big. Wait, I just look at my nails. You're very big, you have to take care of yourself. Especially when you start approaching the hill. Pinky Fall and all the other folks, Lachman Aziz and Cassandra Keel. If you take care of yourself, folks, give us a comment. If you take care of yourself, hashtag self-care. Hashtag self-care. If you know what we're talking about, you got to take care of yourself. He's a big boy, he's a big girl. You're a big girl now. You got to take care of yourself. Can't look at anyhow. Chevron Fraser, good to have you. Yep. Good to have you here, Cheryl Fraser. All right, the whole Fraser, folks. The whole Fraser clan here. Sandrine Baird. Welcome in the ring. Welcome in the ring, folks. Each and every one of you, we're fired up. We're ready to go. Glenn says, Gwen Anderson, Lorna Rodney, Ann Singh, Janella Archer, and all the other folks joining us. Pace and power. It's self-care. It's the best care. Don't wait for nobody. Look after yourself. Julia Gibbs, I see you there. Gordon Stobie, I see you there. Hashtag self-care. Yolanda Chalmers, I see you there. Hashtag self-care. Get big go. We see you folks. Yep, self-care. I can't even spell self now. I'm going downhill real fast. Good to have each and every one of you. Hashtag self-care. If you know what I'm talking about. You gotta be out. You can be big. You don't gotta be pulling. And looking bad. Self-care matters. Murder. Tolia. Gladstone. Mavis. Stacey Ann and Bob. Good to have each and every one of you beautiful folks here with us, folks. Yep. Chevron Fraser says, hashtag self-care critics. We big, but we got sense. So we can talk about that. We big and we got self-care. We can talk a little bit about critics and so on. We hear this not so well. Here's a big problem. This is a big problem. Glenford Gordon, Malika Andrews, and Lyndon Gill. Is it Gill? Yeah, Lyndon Gill and all those other folks joining us. This is a big problem. It's a big problem he had. We can chat about that. Tessa Haywood and Stacey Ann. Stacey Ann says self-care. Self-care is the key. You got big issues, you got self-care. You got big issues to deal with. Self-care. John Nelson, good to have you here. We just waiting for a couple of y'all, We fired up. We ready to go. Fight card set. It's only y'all missing. Waiting a couple of y'all to come through. Pull y'all socks up the man, Tessa Lorenzo. Come early to this fight, the man, Tessa. Mavis side done share Mavis Davis. Yeah, be like Mavis, the man. Be like Mavis. I saw somebody else say, I done share already. Be like them, the man. Shucks. People going to tell you the same thing over and over and over. Marsha Glasgow says self-care matters. Karen Clark says self-care. It's true. Very, very true. Very, very. Beatrice Selby says it's the same thing. Same thing. Mavis says I done share. Right? Mavis Davis, well, good to have you. And Beatrice Selby, Margaret Stewart, and all the other fantastic, beautiful folks joining us. We're fired up here. Here's Stephen, Leon, Logan, Bob, Annie, Gail, Ali, Cock, Aisha, good to have you as well. And Denny's, London, Welshman, good to have you. I want to show you all the pastors tonight watching us. Denny's Harris, Raphael Messiah, Asana, Vincent Asana, all the pastors, the bishops, the reverends, everybody, the doctors, all the pastors watching. All the ministers of government tuned in this evening. All the ministers of government. I want to say congrats. I saw, what's her name? Not Rodriguez. What's her name? Suzanne Rodriguez have her own social media program now. I don't know where she finds the time as a minister, but she has her own social media. That's an indictment, It's like if LCN doing the work properly. Chronicle NCN, DPI, they're doing the work, she's going to do it herself. So she has her own social media program, talk show, what have you, and I saw it started last evening. I wish her well. It's not easy doing this stuff. I wish her well. She had 65 years for an hour last evening. I wish her well. You could only go up from there. You could only go up from there. But I wish her well. I really wish her well. This stuff is really hard work, Chinsing Henry. It's hard work, and I wish her well. You got to do your minister work. You got to, and like them paying enough, you got to come and catch your little hand. Say too. Next thing you got catch up, they got Zell and all kinds of worries. But if you got to follow us, what are you going to do? Right? I wish you well. 65 years for an hour last evening. Yeah. You can only go up from there. You can't get worse. You can't get worse. Right? You can only go up from there. Suzanne Rodriguez, I'm telling you, has her own social media program too. Yeah. Good luck with that. Dan Gravesandi, good to see you. Gail Ali Chuck. David Wood. Mary Thomas. Jason Henry. Good to have each and every one of you. I'm so facetious. I'm so nasty. So wicked. Love it. Love it. Good night, each and every one of you. Wherever you're joining us from, folks, around the world. You're joining us on Twitter. You're joining us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. You're talking with me tonight. A very good evening to each and every one of you. So, Suzanne Rodriguez as well. So, all the ministers watching us this evening. Welcome in the ring. Smash that emoji button. Yeah. You know what I think? How Suzanne could pull up her viewership. You start sharing those house lots and you program Suzanne. You will see people start showing. You see, the problem is, Suzanne them have these, what do you call it? These outreaches. And they go to share out house lots and so on. And people show up in the numbers. And Suzanne run with the idea that she's popular. Mistake. Suzanne think she's coming to see you. It's land the people want. The people want piece of the birthright. His land. So she said she can have a social media program. Well, they shop in the tens last evening. In the tens, they showed up. Don Sullivan. Yeah, in the tens, they showed up. Dan Gravesandi. In the tens, they showed up to watch the minister. But I'm giving Suzanne this. I consult as well in communications. Folks, I studied communications at university and graduated. Went on to read law. That being said, I'm going to give Suzanne Rodriguez some free advice this evening. You see, you start sharing out house lots on that television, on that social media program, you will see numbers increase. You will see numbers. Ditch all of the outreaches and you start sharing out house lots in that program. You can see like Oprah, you get a land, you get a land, you get a land, you get a land, you get a land. You will see you sell off. Right? And you can edge past the hundreds like us. Right? You start sharing out land. You get a land. Isabel get a land. Marlene get a land. Kwana Mingo get a land. Michael Reed get a land. Carol Hudson get a land. You can see people just show up by the thousands and give it on for free. Your first consultation with me. Finish there, Suzanne Rodriguez. You don't need nothing else. Folks, welcome in the ring. We're going to touch on a couple of things this evening, folks. We're going to touch on a couple of things. Welcome. We always start with a little appetizer. Gotta start you folks off with a little appetizer. And just to wet your palate to make sure that we are massaging your palates right. We know y'all got some Epicurean taste. You see how you follow my dictionary? I read in my dictionary, You all have Epicurean taste. You see that? Throw the one out that y'all nothing. Epicurean taste. Right? So we got to make sure that we play to your palate. Play to your sweet tooth. We're going to touch on Lestrasse. Oh my God. Y'all know Lestrasse, God, eh? Like I can't even wait. We didn't even come to the end of the first round yet. Lestrasse gone. Is Rondelay knocking Lestrasse? Is who knocking Lestrasse? We didn't even touch the first round yet. And then, there's a lot of people on the backs these days. We out here walking here, and a lot of people on the back. Some man this morning on the East Coast, he on the back. Critics on the back. They say a lot of things weighing critics down. A lot of weights below his waist. And then one of our athletes, this one is very serious. Very serious. And then people sugar down. Right? Then the back and then the down. Just like that. So a couple things, appetizers on the fight card tonight. I'll give you a little sneak peek. You can decide if you want to stick around or you want to go watch Sonia Rodriguez, Suzanne Rodriguez, and our program there. 65 persons watched her for our last evening. Yes. Yeah, 60 staff. 5 friends and family. Good to have you guys here and singing Glenford Gordon. Just give me y'all a little taste. of the menu of issues. Annalisa, you come late. Penelope Hudson, you touched dog. Kim Luke, Andrew Griffith, Rebecca Manning, see you too, Andrew. Gil Mingo, Ascot Short, Margaret Craig, and all the other folks joining us. Good to have you guys with us this evening. Just a little taste of the menu this evening. We fired up now, the Grant, and we're ready to go. Margaret Craig, come on down. It's Mr. Solomon. Heaven and faith, brace it over. Brace it over, brace it over, brace it over. You know, what a minister on the air for, you only got 65 people watching. Next day you should resign like Liz Truss. You know, but this is what it is. We're coming in from around the world, folks. We're coming in from around the world. Y'all know Liz Truss, God. Brace it over. Brace it over, Paul Leandro, Juliet Mikel, Carol Hudson, Yonah Benjamin, Laverne Joseph, Faith Gulbari, Diane Gravesandi. Brace it over. Brace it over, David Wood. Y'all know Liz Truss, God. Yep, just like that. 4 to 5 days. Some people can't stay long, you know. Some people can't stay long. Quick, they're gone. 4 to 5 days. Not years, not months. 4 to 5 days. Liz Truss and she gone. I hear some people say, Anil and Delal should follow. I hear some people say, Anil and Delal should follow Liz Truss. 4 to 5 days. Liz Truss gone. Wow. Wow. Just like that, you know. 10 Dowling Street is like a revolving door now. It's like a revolving door. Folks, you know, she lost 2 ministers over her economic plan. And then it was all downhill from there. Her authority began to wane very, very quickly. You know, very, very quickly. Well, I don't know. It's a kind of upside down thing we got because she came with authority. Eva never had none. Never had none. So Liz Truss has gone after 45 days. So sad. So sad to see her go. Third woman to hold the position. Right? You had Margaret Thatcher. We've had May. And now Truss is gone. Yep. Just as fast. 4 to 5 days on the job. The difference, you know, in some other places, I want you all know, they don't condone nonsense like us. They don't condone it. You either deliver the goods or you have to walk. But us here, oh, Trump may have characterized as well what kind of countries we are. And then we got the leadership to match. Yeah, Chagon. The Queen is dead. Long live the Queen. Prime Minister is gone. Long live the Prime Minister. That being said, folks, we pulled in some things from around the region. Run the next time y'all see y'all by asking for autograph. He gone big. Yolanda Thomas, Diane Graves, and he has gone big. We're talking about y'all buy. He making the regional newspapers now. Anil Singh, Leslie Patricia Alves, Wayne Bob, he gone big. Carol Hudson, Joe and Corinne, Wayne, he gone big. St. Kitts and Nevis, he gone big. Antigua and Barbuda, he gone big. He gone big. Another fellow who should resign and follow Truss, Anil Nandalal, disgraced the country, disgraced the government. They say nothing. Liz Truss resigned today. 45 days in office and gone. This fellow disgraced the whole country. The last 72 hours. He's still there. He's still there. My God. My God. You think them boys easy? He got big in the region. And they tell me going international. That's what they're telling us. How we gone big? Folks, if you've been living on the rock, if you've been living on the rock, Anil, the Attorney General, the CCJ, give them an advance copy of the decision, election petition 99. The man was so excited to come to deliver the information, put it out on his Facebook page. That was against the court's ethics because they give them it in confidentiality. Well, the justices down there and the CCJ didn't spare him. yesterday during the course of the delivery of that decision, that justice, that judgment. Justice Witt said it is serious and unacceptable. The Attorney General's behavior, can you imagine that? He said it is totally unacceptable. Justice Witt of the CCJ. And then we have Justice Anderson. He says there are profound issues at stake here. Justice Anderson talking about Olio, Attorney General. No, the grant is your Attorney General. Galen Spectator is your Attorney General. Anderson says there are profound issues at stake here. And then it was Rajnath Lee, who says she's concerned about the impact on the integrity of the court. Justice Rajnath Lee, yeah. You can take that to the bank and bank it. What a disgrace. The Attorney General should resign. What a national disgrace. Well, the CCJ is not like Alio. They didn't go to bed and forget. They wake up this morning with Anil on the mind. And today, they issued a statement. They issued a statement. I want you to listen to how part of the statement reads. David Wood, Chinsing Henry, Nigel Price, Kwanamingo, Maxine Altier. Listen, folks. What this statement and how this statement out of the CCJ reads. The premature and unauthorized disclosure. This is the CCJ writing about the custodian of our Constitution, the Attorney General. Listen to the CCJ. The premature, unauthorized disclosure of the result of the litigation is inexcusable. This is today, Betsy Freeze. The CCJ wake up with Nandalal in the mind. It is inexcusable, the disclosure of the decision. Inexcusable. It betrays confidence. It betrays the confidence of the court, the CCJ said. And given the fact that it emanated rather. The all eyes, folks, the all eyes. I gotta get my glasses. I gotta put on my glasses. And given the fact it emanated from the Facebook account of the person holding the office of Attorney General, the fact that it emanated from the Facebook account of the person holding the office of Attorney General, this is the CCJ in a statement they put out today, it serves to bring the entire administration of justice into disrepute. That it emanated from the person, the AG Anil Nandalal Chatri. The Caribbean Court of Justice says it served to bring the entire administration of justice into disrepute. That is what his actions constituted. The Caribbean Court of Justice said today, the highest, Guyana's highest court, it brought the administration of justice into disrepute. But you know how them boys so wicked, stink, and dirty? It would be a surprise that Anil goes anywhere. It would be a surprise. Because that is the nature of the people. Wicked, stink, and dirty. That is not happening to AMC. That's the Caribbean Court of Justice saying Anil Nandalal's conduct, the Attorney General's conduct, the PPP's Attorney General conduct has brought the entire administration of justice into disrepute. You can take it to the bank and you can bank it. In the 592, folks, in the 592, yep, in the 592, can't get better. Can't get better. In the 592. We tell you, it's not easy road out here, folks. It is not an easy road out here. In Johnny Lickeram, Lester William, Fitz Gulliver, Wayne Bob, Rosetta, Tommy Gibbs, Kurt Heideken, Royston Wallers, Leroy Govaya, Amaridan is not an easy road out there, folks. And we continue to tell you, folks, it's not an easy road. Just today at Grove Market Street, we saw this. A 3-vehicle matchup, 2 motorcycles and a car. Man down was the show. Man down. Electric motorbike, another motorcycle, and a car. Man down. Folks, ever so often we tell you ever see fella we know? Slow down and let me arrive alive. Chensing Henry, Susan Jacobs, Clive Jackson, Chandra Ramnath. Slow down. Good folks. And let me arrive alive. I think that was it? That wasn't it. We're just getting started. We're just getting started. Early this morning we saw this. Early this morning on the East Coast, folks. On the East Coast, we saw that man down. We later learned 2 folks were fighting in the street. Fighting in the street. Which led to that scene. Can you believe that? Huh? That's how we treat each other now. Man down, they told us. Man down. Oh, my Father, have mercy. Fighting in the street, little that, you know. Fighting in the street. Can you imagine that? A little fighting in the street can lead to something like that. Early this morning, our attention was called to that. We saw the paramedics arrive, strap up the man's hand, strap up his head, and take him to the hospital. In the middle of the road, this could have ended so differently. Some folks beat him up, don't know if it was his friends, if it's bandits, it's who, and left him in the road. Thankfully, the police got there very quickly. This is just between Brideslas and Pleasance and the railway embankment, and attended to him in very short order. And we were happy to see both paramedics, the EMT, and the police be so responsive. And he was terribly beaten up, I can tell you that. Terribly beaten up. I see some folks say, Guyana gone wild. And I ain't say it is y'all. Guyana gone wild, they tell us. Among many other things. Every man for himself. Every man for himself. Yep, these were some of the early morning scenes. Man in the road, man down. But again, we want to say kudos to the EMTs and the police for showing up and doing what they had to do in a very, very professional manner. In a very, very professional manner. Folks, share the live, smash that emoji button, wherever you're joining us from, good folks. And let me go down the road. Let me go down the road. This is some of what we saw this morning. You know, as we were standing there, the rain come down just to show how those folks operate under intense circumstances. You know, have to work in the rain. They run, you know, they run back in the vehicle, left the man on the road. That's why I was so impressed with. You know, they stayed there, attended to him, and got him into that vehicle in good time, and then they were off to the hospital. Right. But the folks who beat him up, wicked. Wicked. I hope he gets better. But the folks who beat him up, are they wicked? Wicked. Just left him there on the East Coast Road. Just left him there. That's what we saw this morning, folks. Yep. Early this morning. That's what we saw. Good to have each and every one of you. Wherever you're joining us, folks. Wherever you're joining us from. Share the live. Smash that emoji button. And let me go down the road, good people. Let me go down the road. And those were some of the scenes from the East Coast this morning. We're going to leave it there. Y'all slow down, folks. Be kind to others. Slow down and be kind to others. Do that for us. Slow down and be kind to others. Yep. Coming back to you, good folks. Good to have you guys here. Share the live. Smash that emoji button, good folks. Let me go down the road, man. Share the live. Smash that emoji button. Let me go down the road, folks. Down the road. Yep. Could you get an accident in a gas station? You think it's possible? Well, this country is different. You think so? Hit a gas station? How fast you got to be going in a gas station to get an accident? Sandra Foreman, Juliet Mickle, Rosamond David. We were trying to get to the bottom of it. We couldn't get all the information in time. How fast you got to be going in a gas station to lose your fender? Or things are tight in this country. You're just going good, and then boom. Boom. Your front fender fall off. Huh? He's going good, and then boom. Problems. Things tight in this country, folks. Folks, you better keep moving. You stand up too long. Them boys go with you. I tell you, all the time. You stand up too long in this place. Them boys go with you. Who shared the damn life tonight, guys? Smash that emoji button for us. We're going down. We're going down. What? How fast you got me going, Patricia? In a gas station, you have an accident. We hope you're wrong. We hope you're wrong, folks. We're following that among some other things. Like this, for instance. For information, FYI. Good to have you, folks. Share the live. Mavis Davis, well, Cecile Logan, good to see you. Good to see Gwyneth Anderson. I see Nessa Gaskin, Clive Jackson, Chinsing Bob, Wayne Bob, Diane Forrest, Mavis Davis, well, Eben Lammy is here as well. Great evening to all you beautiful, fantastic folks. Lynette Fraser, good night to you as well. Good night. Yep. For information, you know the good folks who live in Alverston, in Region 6, they said those two streets equal there. If you vote for the PPP, you got a good street in Alverston. If you vote for coalition, don't expect it. Don't expect it. The folks in Alverston saying all streets should be equal. That is what the folks in Alverston telling us this evening. All streets should be equal in Alverston. If you vote PPP in this one Guyana, you get smooth road. In Alverston, if you go to the other side, don't think you're getting it. Don't think so. Yep, that's what them boys telling me. Don't think you're getting smooth road if you live in Alverston and perceive you vote for the coalition. Ain't gonna go down, sir. What a shame. In this one Guyana, that's how we live in. Can you imagine it? Yeah. You see, them boys could talk a good talk. But when it come time to practice, the practice of governance, the practice of leadership, the practice of one Guyana, a different story. And the folks in Alverston pointed this out to us. Make it right. Fisher Bishop, you didn't see this? The prophet y'all be, you didn't see this? Make it right. One Guyana must be one Guyana. One people, one nation, one destiny. We need nothing else. Make it right. I don't talk. Make it right. Jagabats. FYI for your information. But it done stugs. Just set a nonsense. Justice survey? You think so? They're telling us, folks. Danilo Cornelius beat up a woman. He get 4 months. Assault is illegal language. The unauthorized trespasses of your person, assault. Right? Beat up a woman. They give you 4 months. That's how we send a strong message to people. That's how we do it. That's the strong message we send in. Take a 4 months. Oh, I think we need to send a stronger message. I believe so. Claudia Tyndall, Joyanne Bailey Morgan, Margaret Craig, Lennox Anderson, Karen Clark. We need to send a stronger message. Beat up a woman. Just like Ozzy Rogers. It's just that he not the way for flight. He probably ain't connected. 4 months. You decide. If that's how we can send a strong message to the people who are perpetuating the horrors, violence against women, domestic violence. That's how we can send it. Trench crappos and jagabats, tadpoles and cricketers. We can unpack this. We can unpack it, folks. We follow a lot of things. The sugar down. Since them boys come back, March 2nd, 2020, sugar down. The drugs flowing. The white angel. The white crystal. It's flowing. Port Kaituma. Taxi driver nabbed with cocaine, ganja, STC pills. You see, to live in this country, you got to dull your senses, you know. But if you can't do the time, don't do the crime, taxi driver. The fellow nabbed with cocaine, ganja, and STC. He's sugaring down completely. He wants sugar down and sugar out. He won't remember nothing. Cocaine, ganja, STC pills. The taxi driver nabbed with. None of you jump in. He cares. You see pelting down a hill. You know. When he pelting down, because he sugar down. Cocaine, ganja, and SEC pill on one person. Soon as them boys come back, it's wild, wild west. The wild, wild west. Paul Kaichuma. It's the wild, wild west. Hastening on to have my guest this evening. Hastening on. Prostitute. Minister Dildo Minister. Take your pick. We say prostitute. He's a cross for truth. Prostitute. He's a real cross. Telling us today, folks, right, it's poll time. March 13, 2023, local government elections. Them might never like it. And it has been delayed for more than a year. Never like it. In the last iteration of the governance, 23 years, they had it once. They like it. Them boys on the side don't like poll. And I can ask my guests about them. They don't like poll. Well, some of them. So March 13th, next year, local government elections. And we can talk a little more expansively on that in a subsequent broadcast. Yep. This one, you can take to the bank and bank it. Y'all know y'all leave. This one, you can take to the bank and you can bank it. We're still waiting for the fishing licenses from Suriname. But them boys claiming a victory. Today, they said they break out the champagne and caviar down there shifting around Chandra Paul Drive. They say if I'm doing backflips and somersaults, running around the compound like Usain Bolt, running around like Usain Bolt, because the Guyana fishing boats can now come home after they finish fishing in Venezuela. The Venezuelan institutional policy, the Surinamese institutional policy quite recently, that when they finish fishing, they had to let the boats in Suriname, take a charter boat, a Surinamese charter boat, to get back home. Right? But now they can bring back the fishing boats. Everybody say, victory, we winning, we winning. They say, we winning. We fishermen can now bring home the boats. We winning. Still waiting on the licenses. Still waiting on the licenses. Good folks, we still waiting on the licenses. Still waiting, we still holding. Right? That's what I want to tell you. Brace it over. We still holding. But then by say we winning because the boats will come back now. The boats will come back now. Oh, scraps. Folks, I never learn no scraps. Oh, scraps. If I can't do the lean engine there. Oh, scraps. I never learn. You see, a couple of nights ago, we pointed out that a foreign company come. You know, one of the, what do you call it? Not the owners of the FPSO, one of the operators of one of the FPSOs. They come and they want to build a gated community. They're now moving away from oil and gas. They want to build a gated community because they want people like Randy Critchlow live wrong by them. They want me as a neighbor, definitely. They want Asquith, they want John Jones, they want Kurt Heineken, Patricia Craig, they say they want to live by you. They and their staff, the personnel, must live in a gated community. And we the right here, we can't get a little 2x4 land. And the land's expensive. You know, you can't even pay off for it. But they're coming to build gated community in a new country. Me like she see far better than the Irfan. Better than the bishop. Me say we can be tenants in my own country. They come for bill. Huh? Well, Irfan, after we lash back, Irfan says in a very kind of tepid way, no exclusive housing development for foreigners. Oh, Father, no exclusive housing development for foreigners. After we broke the story here about this foreign company that operates an FPSO here, suddenly they're acquiring land and so on. They're getting land. And you know when they're getting land, they're getting it dirt cheap. Dirt cheap. Dirt cheap. To build housing, gated community housing development. They don't label. They're no label. Things happen when we speak here, you know. Think we just out here wasting time? Things happen when we speak at this time. Yeah, you need to know the background. Blah, blah, blah. You need to know the background. That's important. Right? We're hearing that critic is under. Yeah, they're telling us this is a 50-50. Things will go either way, dicey. Things will go dicey here. They say it's a big problem he has. Very big ones. Right? And we saw T. Muhammad saying, pray for a brother. Right? If you're religious like that, if you're religious like that, you know, if you're religious like that, you hope he gets well soon. This is a big problem he has, you know. Right? Now all them problems you could cut out, you know. Some of them problems stay with you for a little while. Right? But pray. Men are always to pray and not to faint. Pray. So you got some big problems he's grappling with. It's 50-50, it could go either way. No, sometimes you try to cut some problems and they end up getting bigger. You know the kind of way? You try to cut out some problems out of your life, you end up blowing up more. Wish him the best, though. Wish him the best. Moving on, folks. Wicked, stink, and dirty. Wicked, stink, and dirty. That's why I want y'all know. Them boys, wicked, stink, and dirty. Imagine the union have to be carrying the government to court before the government can come and do collective bargaining. You got to be carrying them to court. Well, I'm happy just to see the union do anything. I just happy to see the union do any goddamn thing these days. Some book of management I was reading a couple years ago, they said, above all, do something. In leadership, above all, do something. So I'm just happy to see them doing something. I'm just happy to see a little action out in the union. For a minute there, I was checking for the pulse. I thought the guy was comatose. You know, I thought lying in a hospital bed somewhere. I was checking the pulse for a little while. I'm just happy to see the GPSU doing something. You know, and some people there on it, Ramson, Irfan, they're a lot of MS, and I mean medical service, they're depping a lot of, right? I mean medical service, a lot of nonsense, a lot of foolishness with that one. We're following the story of this boxer, Kevin Allicock, who wrote a damning post today. He wrote it himself, wasn't the administrator? He wrote it himself. Was not his administrator of his page. He wrote it himself. He said he went on a boxing match overseas, developed some complications. He even got medical staff like the other team. He said the other teams, they work with the medical staff. They work with the medical staff. He said he even got a scale. You know, he lost a medal, he says, because he couldn't check your weight. And he makes a point, and he was right, that every member of a team can walk with their own scale. It is the coach who is tasked with that. He said you even got a little scale. You got to be borrowing a scale from the other teams. He said when he developed this medical complication he had, he said it was the medical personnel from the other team who had to help him out. The all-producing republic. You see, this government is about show. It's about smoke and mirrors, flashing lights, cameras, action. But when all that is taken away, folks, we're in a bad place. And then he spoke about the sporting authority. They don't care if you live or die. The man win a bronze for this country. Come back, he said, none of them even call him. If I ask him how is he health, or even to say congratulations, the leadership of this sporting fraternity in this country. He said nobody called him. Nobody called him. He got some intervention. We're going to talk a little bit about that. But first, I want to talk to my guests. I want to talk to my guest this evening, one and only, the man who understands how to unpack these issues, the Rush himself, my brother, Randy Critchlow. Randy, how are you doing? Very good evening, sir. Give it to us.
Good evening, my bald-headed brother.
Respect and manners. You have here for the both of us. Enough. Right ahead, Randy. Break this down for us. Unpack it.
People said that you're a foreigner. You're born here, but you don't grow here.
Same thing. Right ahead, Randy.
All right, so Sharon, I'm happy.
Unpack this for us.
Every time I come on, it's one or another thing with Ramson and the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport. And I find this is one of many stories. This story with the boxer that just represented Guyana in the South American Games, Kevin Alicock. And, it is the tip of the iceberg. When you speak to athletes, they tell you, Sherrod, that, nothing is being done for them. The associations leave them on their own. They can't turn to the National Sports Commission, the Olympic Association. I don't know what is happening. So these are the stories that we hear, and I'm happy that this boxer had the courage. And as he said, he's hoping that, by doing this, he will sort of make it better for athletes coming after him, because it is a real sad situation. But I want to I want to speak about a few things here.
Go right ahead, Randy.
Now, in January 2022, the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport was given some budgetary allocations. And I want to read an excerpt from the press release. The press release sent out by the National Sports Commission in January 2022. Right? It says the 2022 budget disbursement will allow for sportsmen and women and associations to breathe even easier, right? As they can stand certain of solid support from the National Sports Commission. This was a statement crafted by the Sports Commission, which is headed by Kashif Mohammed.
Yeah.
Right? Kashif and Shanghai, he is the commissioner, right? And so that statement in itself is ironic, because Sherrod, 10 months later, 10 months and $3.2 billion later, what we are seeing in sport. And Royal Tony wrote an interesting article the other day, last month actually, where he said that, the sports is suffering. Asked the athletes, and he wrote the letter to the president, right?
Well,
go ahead.
Kevin answered that question today.
What did you say?
I said Kevin answered that question today.
Exactly.
But what's happening in sports?
Exactly. And when he said ask the athletes, one of the athletes spoke today about the support that they're getting. And we must not take lightly these numbers. $3.2 billion and 10 months later. After you would have boldly said that these athletes and sport, men and sport women, could breathe easy because they can have this solid support from the National Sports Commission. And I want to point out a few things that Royal Tony mentioned in that article. After 10 months, I don't know what has happened. The question has to be asked, where has that money gone?
Into pockets, to build mansions.
We have
Don't
to
build by
ask,
yourself.
Is it that the money was spent on Cricket Carnival? What has happened to that $3.2 billion that the National Sports Commission and the Department of Sports would have collected? No. After 10 months and $3.2 billion, I will get to the athlete just now, but I want to give a general overview as to what is happening in sport. He said that Perica to Georgetown, there's no proper community ground. And this is coming straight from the article that Royal Tony wrote. He said, and this is over on the west side, he said the National Track and Field Center, he said the facility is a shell. The track is deplorable. The football field is an embarrassment. And this is the only facility outside of the National Stadium, right, that we can host international football. He went on, he said, quarantine to Georgetown. The best ground is Buxton. There's no sports facility for athletes in central Georgetown, but yet we're going to Region 6.
Build stadiums.
Most of the population, the athletes and the athletic community is in Georgetown. There's no sport athletics facility in central Georgetown outside of football grounds, right? The Georgetown Football Club, which is privately owned.
And allowing Jubilee Park to fall apart.
Yep. The National Racket Center can only accommodate squash. 2 years of rehabilitation work on the table, the tennis court at Wolford Avenue, yet to be completed. Right? There's no place to play lawn tennis.
So, Randy, when we see Ramson flitting about the place, you only pumping the scene.
Yes.
You only pumping the scene.
Jumping around with and taking out photos at every opportunity. And these are the major issues. And we are asking, where's this $3.2 billion? He went on, he said the only 2 indoor facilities, the Cliff Anderson Sports Hall and the National Gymnasium, are in need of upgrade. I don't know if Ramson ever passed in the sports hall or the gymnasium. I know when I last look at the gymnasium.
Yeah. Maybe everything the Apnea FC had in the system,
yes,
when we debated office, finish. Everything that was in the pipeline. So now you got to stand on your own 2 feet now and walk. Clueless.
What is happening? What is happening? The question, and I'm hoping, of course, that these questions are asked. And people, when you see these people, you have to ask and say, I do not understand here what will happen between now and the end of the year, because obviously this $3.2 billion was not spent as yet. Because
at least that's spent on the projects earmarked.
Well, that is the thing. That is the thing. And so our athletes must complain, because especially, and I'll talk about the draft national sports policy just a moment. Just want a little clip from it. But you know, interestingly, when you see our athletes doing well on the international stage, you have to ask how is it? And that brings us to Sharon. I think that thing is stuck. It's just at the Jagabatson trench crop who are showing for the longest while. I don't know if your slides, something is happening with your slides.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Right ahead, Randy.
Yes.
At least we have the audio.
Right.
Sorry about that.
No, it's cool. Right. So that brings us to this latest revelation. But it shouldn't be a revelation, but this latest, coming to the fore, this story about the Guyanese boxer who just came back from representing Guyana in Paraguay.
Yep.
And said that, look, he had this skeletal muscle. He was diagnosed with this issue. Whilst
you don't have a health professional with a team.
Exactly. No, it is almost unthinkable that we're sending athletes, especially in a sport like boxing. One would think, Sherrod, that such a brutal sport, you would want to have a health professional on the team.
And we got the money now.
Right.
Money there.
That is the thing. That is the issue. And it is so embarrassing. And again, I preface this by saying to you, people who are listening, that it's 10 months and $3.2 billion later.
Yeah.
That we have athletes going out of the country and we don't have a scale.
Yeah.
So that the athlete can weigh and it's boxing, you have weight classes.
Yeah.
And so you have to have scales.
Yeah.
Now imagine the health officials from the Panama team had to help the Guyanese.
Yeah.
Right? Not one single person with any
maybe,
medical
Randy,
ability.
If we don't send people's wives and so on, who suddenly get employed as advisor on culture and all kinds of fancy things, if they have to go Dubai every other month, we could get health professionals to send with our athletes. Yep. Maybe.
Right? It is so sad. Right? And the athlete said that he had to settle for the bronze at the South American Games. He said he lost on the scale. Imagine that. The scale. He said he was 0.1.
I think that's a scale.
Overweight. He was 0.1 kg overweight because the entire trip there was no scale.
Yeah.
The team can't find a scale, so he's depending on the team from Panama to use their scale.
But Randy, how these guys behave? I thought it's nice time for everybody. You know,
Everybody except the athlete.
I see everyone walking the streets with 3-piece suit and 5,000 US shoes, you know, 500 US belt. I says nice time for everybody. So I was shocked when I heard this. I was very, very shocked. As a matter of fact, as a matter of full disclosure, the athlete Kevin Alicock has said that the president got some help for him since he put out that post. As a matter of fact, he was receiving some help in this photograph that we showed earlier at hospital.
Still structured, still a Jagabat page you're showing us.
Apologies. I don't know. I'm seeing the correct thing here, but I don't know what you're seeing at your end. Apologies nonetheless, if we had the wrong thing. But that being said, Randy, he did say that he got some help from the president. But the problem with that, if the only help you could get is when you write a post, or you call Irfan, how are you gonna run a country like that? Systems, that's the point I want to make. Systems gotta work. Ramson gotta work.
But there's no system, Sharon. There is no
system. Gotta work.
These people don't care about any form of system. When you have systems in place, it means that there's a level of accountability and transparency. So they push away anything that resembles structure and order and system, because it means
if a team of athletes want a physiotherapist, they got to go and requisition one from the president.
Apparently,
from Irfan.
Apparently, and that is that. And you know what is so amazing, Sharon, is that Ramson seems to major in the minor, right? All of the little photo ops he's running about, and oh look, I give $1,000 here, $2 million there. When there's no sort of structure, there's no sort of plan, there's no sort of guide as to what is happening in sports, how are we supporting our athletes, how are we implementing those things that were put forward in the national sports policy, the draft sports policy, how are we incorporating that into how we're running this ministry.
And then some of these sports, people look a little distracted to Randy. They look a little distracted. I see some of them into construction, the building housing scheme, they're throwing big party.
Kashif and Shanghai building is big contractor now. So they're
distracted from sports.
Exactly. Right? But let me say this. I want people to understand that whilst the president was jumping up and winding up on the stage at Cricket Carnival and whatever, our athletes were in Panama. And that boxer experienced a traumatic situation where he had to leave the stadium in an ambulance because we had no healthcare professional. So we sent those athletes out ill-prepared, ill-equipped, by the president jumping up and winding up on the stage. And Ramson and everybody walking back there like everything's fine.
And Randy, let me get this in before we close. I saw a lot of athletes shared his post and endorsed what he said, to say that, you know, this smoke and mirrors, you know, lights, cameras, action that they take, and then when the cameras off, everything is decadence and decay. It's you know, that's the reality. Endorsing what Kevin Alicock said.
Yeah, and you know what is even worse, Sharon, is that to know that this athlete came back with a bronze despite all of that.
Yeah.
And there was no congratulation. There was nobody checking on his health. Of course, they would have had to get word that the athlete suffered some sort of, you know, incident. He had to go to the hospital. They know this. Stephen Enval, who is the president of the Boxing Association, he would have known this before that athlete came home. And to know that you didn't even reach out to this athlete to say, are you okay? Congratulations, despite all that happened for you, on your bronze medal. And these are the people who purport to know what they can do. They can't manage themselves out of a paper bag right now. And so this is why we have these situations continuing. Again, I'll end by saying this. that $2.3 billion and a promise by the National Sports Commission that they will support the athletes, and you can't even congratulate them. You can't even send them to Panama with a scale. Shame
And
on
Randy was just the other day. Randy was just the other day. You had another team who ran out of food.
Yes.
And then somebody had to step in there and help them out. I thought we rectified these problems now, but it seems as though once the cameras are off, the problems persist. It seems like that's where we are. The status quo remains. You know, some of them should follow Liz Truss and just go.
It is sad, and I you know, you feel for your national athletes who, one, they have to prepare in conditions that are not necessarily appropriate or you know, conducive for them performing properly, because we don't have the best of facilities. We don't, and then they don't get the support that they need from government nor the private sector. They go out there and they perform to the best of their ability. Some of them do very well, and they come back to what? Yeah.
And you know, sometimes people wonder how come our athletes don't medal the way they should. Now, if you got other athletes, you're given the resources to do well, and people are there with you, and you're not going to compete on the same level. You're not going to compete. You know, you got a little hamstring problem, and you got could I borrow your physiotherapist? You got your Panadol? I could have.
You got a scale? You know, you got scale we could borrow. And let me end by saying this, Sharon. We have to recognize, and you know, in everything it has to be contextualized. The PP government is this iteration of the PP government, the first government to be able to spend oil money. By that token, there are some higher expectations of you, because you're not trying to make $1 out of 50 cents anymore. There are resources for you to spend. It is reflected in the budgetary allocation for sport this year. $3.2 billion you were given. The year is almost ended. There is no sign that you would have spent this money on anything tangible as yet, right? And I say this in the context of what is written in the National Sports Policy, the draft sport policy, as it relates to the vision for sports in this country. Right? And it says using available resources to create an environment where all citizens, regardless of age, gender, and ethnicity, community, economic circumstances, have the ability to participate. And I hone in on the use of available resources. So you can't say that in 1960 something the athletes didn't have skills.
So far back they go.
From 2020 to now, we have moved to a different economic position. So you are.
It's called progress. Yeah, we progress.
And so,
thankfully.
That being said, Sharon, I know that's your phrase. That being said, I hope that people like Ramson, shame on Ramson. People like Kashif Mohammed, shame on you. People like Stephen Enbar, shame. Athletes shouldn't have to come back and say, look, this is what happened to me over there before you come and start helping me. In this day and age, in the oil producing Republic of Guyana. And those are the kind of things that we talk about every day. And these people, I do not know what is happening. And I'm interested, and I know that we'll continue to look at this, for them to be able to say to the people of Guyana, the athletes of Guyana, where that $3.2 billion went.
That can be the big question. When they come to your community, to come to you, ask them, where is sports money got? Where come to school? You are fine school, you serve school, and so ask them the tough question. Why did the AG do what he did to disgrace this country before the CCJ and the Caribbean and the world? Ask them the questions. Randy, thanks for stopping by. The Rush.
Thank you very much. Anytime, Shirt.
The Rush. Thanks, my brother.
Great.
That being said, folks, that's our time and that's our program. Great having each and every one of you. Share the live. Smash that emoji button, folks. Partner with us as well.
Want to keep getting the best in the ring?
Let's fight.
Yes, you can help us to keep going by partnering with us through your contributions. And it's easy. Send us a daily, weekly, or monthly donation, whichever is most convenient to you. Cash App at $ in the ring 592, Zelle and PayPal in the ring 592 at gmail.com, or WhatsApp us on 627-6963 for how to contribute via MoneyGram and Western Union and for MMG payments.
That being said, folks, have a great evening. Share that live for us. Smash that emoji weapon. And let me go down the road. See you guys at 8 in the morning. Then at 12 midday. I'll be back in the ring tomorrow evening at 8 as well. Final program for the week. Friday is right upon us, folks. Stay safe. That's our time, and that's our program. Stay safe. Thanks, Randy, for stopping by.